Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. And if this is your first session, this is a series of good night meditations to prepare the self, the mind for a restful and peaceful evening. And today's topic is the power of silence. It's an interesting topic that sometimes people may be a little hesitant to dwell into. In society today, seems like we tend to focus on trying to drown out the noise of the mind with constant background noises. And a little bit of hesitation is there when there is silence, physical silence even, because the noise of the mind becomes more easily attended to or heard. But the practice we're going to do today hopefully will give some insight into enjoying this experience of silence in the evening and throughout the day, and how that can have an impact on the quality of our lives. So, as always, we will start with checking that the body is alert but relaxed, and taking in a few deep breaths. We check that the feet is flat on the ground or under us, but comfortable, and relax the legs as we continue to pay attention to our breathing. Breathing in deeply. As we breathe out, let go of any tension in the muscles. Once more, breathing in deeply, checking that the back is relaxed. And as we breathe out, letting go of any tension in the back. Next, we'll check the shoulders, the neck area, making sure if there's any tight areas, we can move them. Continue to check as we go up to the face and the jaw area. Relax the jaws. Taking in one more deep breath. Bring our attention to the present. And then kind of scan through the day from the beginning, the time of awakening, and the variety of activities that were done, and the interactions that happened in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening. There may have been happy moments, maybe some challenging moments. We're just going to let it all pass. We're going to use a little acronym to remember the sequence to come into silence, just as a memory tool and for fun. We're going to use the letter S, to remember to come into solitude, to separate from all the activities of the day. And the letter I is for introversion, to come inside, letting go of the world and the story outside of us, come into that inner experience of the self, the true self. And the L is for letting go. And the E is to remember, just like any drama episode, that there is an end or an exit. So the end of the day is like an exit or end of that episode. It's finished. So letting that go. And then the N is to remind us to navigate towards the home, that space of clarity, the sea, where we can see the contrast between the noisy outside world and the silence, the sweet silence of home. That space where there is no expectations or demands. The soul, the true self, is able to just be at ease, like when we're at home after a long day. No pretense, no having to put on a mask for anyone, just being yourself. And in that clarity, when we can see the contrast between the outside, the physical world, and that silent, sweet space where there is a feeling of belonging and acceptance, a feeling of safety, knowing that this inner being, the experiencer, is an eternal being, an immortal being that cannot be harmed. And in that experience, there is a feeling of freedom, freedom from fear and worries, and security. Just allow the self to come into that experience fully. What would it feel like to know that there's nothing in the physical world that can cause any harm to this living, eternal, immortal being of light, this being of consciousness that is a traveler, that is enjoying the journey of life. And regardless if there are noise or sound around in the outer world, tune into that silence and peace in that dimension beyond, that gentle golden light sky beyond the sky. And in this space of peace and serenity, where everything is as it should be, everything is accepted, there is an easy connection to the Supreme Being, the ocean of peace. Who is emanating that energy of peace that is overflowing. Just allow the self to go deep into that experience. Stillness, silence, and peace. And nothing more is required. No desires, no expectation. Because nothing is needed. Nothing is lacking. This is the original experience of the soul. It's an experience that we're all privileged to have or have had at some point. And it is just a matter of reconnecting with that experience. It doesn't take a long time, just a minute, but it has a powerful impact on the day, on the inner being. It's like recharging the phone when it's completely off. Doesn't take long. So that first step of disconnecting all the other extraneous applications that are running in the mind is what allows that energy to fill the inner being very quickly. If that connection is accurate. So, a simple practice that all of us can do, but especially in the evening before the end of the day to have closure. And that allows the mind and body to have full rest and start the day fresh and recharged the next morning. And as mentioned, this can be practiced anytime throughout the day, checking in every hour or a couple of hours during the day to see where the mind has been, bringing it inside. As I mentioned earlier, the acronym of solitude, introversion, letting go, exiting the drama, navigating to the home to experience that clarity and contrast, and fully allowing the experience to emerge of that silence of our home, which is available to all of us anytime, anywhere. So have fun playing and practicing. Until next time, have a good evening.